Excuse me, sir. You there? Would you like to game? Then game we shall.
Hey guys, what is going on? It's Mikey Mads. I'm the PTR 212, and upon request, I'm doing a video on the Jade Witch Doctor. So I'm going to be talking about all the changes that come along with the Jade Witch Doctor and what items you kind of want to look for. So far with this build, it's pretty much generically the same as the previous Jade build, but you're more or less going to be running poison damage now. I tried to farm as much items as I can during the legendary drop rate buff that they had going on, but with Thanksgiving I obviously had family stuff that I was doing, so unfortunately I did not get to farm and play as much as I could have, but that's okay. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. So let's get right into it, guys. So for the items, you more or less, like I said, you want to run the same setup. You're going to be running the 5 pieces of the Jade with the Ring of the Royal Grandeur. So I have the gloves, shoulders, chest, legs, and boots. I actually did happen to find some ancient boots, which was pretty nice. On the helm, guys, you're going to be running the Quetzalcoatl, or however you say that. You're going to be running that helmet as well. And for my two-hander, I actually found an ancient blackguard, which this is actually pretty decent. Not the best item I could have found, but it's not terrible either, so this is pretty nice. Ideally, you'd probably want the Staff of Wormwood. I believe the new staff does poison damage and automatically casts Locust Storm for you when you get near enemies. So that would be the ideal weapon for this build, or a really good furnace, or even an ancient Sunkeeper with a really nice offhand would probably work as well. I just don't have any of those, so I went ahead and took the Blackguard for now. On the amulet, guys, ideally, again here, you'd want the 20% poison damage, 10 critical hit damage with open socket, but I have to make do with what I have, so that's fine. And I have the Gem of Efficacious Toxin in that. I'm using Bane of the Powerful and Bane of the Trapped as well, since I'm running the belt that applies slow with your Locust Storm. Some of the other gems you could possibly use would be Taeguk. I personally just really don't like this gem. I know some people are really good with it, but me personally, I just feel like the 3 seconds is not a long enough duration for it to really be effective most of the time. So I tend to not use that one. You could use Taeguk, and that's probably honestly pretty much it. Maybe Gogaku Swiftness if you get some more cooldown out of it if you wanted to. But so anyway, let's talk about the spells that I'm using. On my left click, guys, I'm using Haunt with Poison Spirit. Now this new Haunt is actually going to make enemies take 20% more damage from all sources, so this could end up being a really good spell. Possibly even good for the Z DPS Witch Doctors, we'll have to see. A 20% more damage boost could be really beneficial to you and your party. So I'm glad they added something like this. It gives Jade a little more viability in party play. On my right click, guys, I'm using Locust Storm with Pestilence. This is a lot better now, since you're going to be spitting a Locust that spreads twice as fast, and since this build is actually focusing primarily on poison damage, it's going to be a lot better for us with this new Jade setup. So for Spirit Walk, guys, right now I'm using Honored Guest because my mana abilities are pretty crappy. I need to change some stuff, but ideally you'd want to use Jaunt here. On my 2 key, guys, I'm using Piranhas with Prawnado. Awesome skill, really good. It really synergizes well with this setup. You're going to be throwing Prawnado, and it's going to be pulling everything, which procs your Strong Arm Bracers, which gives you a much more big damage boost, I should say. So then on the 3 key, guys, I'm using Horrify with Frightening Aspect. This is typically the spell that's used in this slot for the setup that I'm running. Horrify has become a lot more important and a lot more used, just because if you're not using the offhand with the Zombie Dog damage reduction, you can use Horrify, which completely fears enemies and negates all damage for the duration, so this is a really good skill. And on my 4 key, guys, I'm using Soul Harvest Siphon. And Siphon is going to be your nuke. It's going to proc all your dot damage, and it's going to heal you when you do, so it's a really good ability. So on the passives, guys, I'm using Spirit Vessel, Creeping Death. Obviously with the setup you have to have the Creeping Death. You want to do max damage. Pierce the Veil for the extra 20% damage, and I'm using Graven Justice, so every time an enemy dies, you get life, mana, and as well as cooldown reduction on all your abilities. So let's get into some of the gameplay here, guys. Just going to do a regular rift. I tried some greater rifts. I almost completed a 42 or a 43, I think it was. But I just didn't get any good pylons that I wanted. But again, unfortunately, I don't want the game to be solely pylon fishing, and it kind of seems it's gearing that way so far. So you just pretty much run around and throw your Locust, it slows everything, dot everything up, and then you just run in and Soul Harvest. You can fear if you need to. Shielding's lame. A channeling pylon. Those are really nice. Change the way those work. And they're fantastic. So you can just run it in like Jade over and over. A scoundrel token, yes! That's exactly all I needed for the rest of this build to be awesome. Even with the legendary buff, I was farming, you know, trying my best to get what I needed, but it just, I was not finding anything that I needed. It was driving me crazy. I really like the Boss Wrap with this setup. I'm using a poison SOJ. And ideally, on my poison SOJ, you would want open socket, elemental poison damage, elite damage, and crit damage and or crit chance, but I just didn't get lucky to find one of those, so I'm using what I have. For the Paragon points, guys, you're going to hit your movement speed up to as much as you need, based off the movement speed on your boots. And then after that, you're going to boost your cooldown as much as you can. Probably crit chance or crit damage after that based on what you need. And then after that, you're going to probably do armor, followed by like probably life percent and or all resist depending on what you need, and then wherever your points need to go after that. And then on your last tab, probably resource cost reduction, and then as well as putting them wherever else you need them. But probably in that order and importance. But this is the PTR, so everything that I'm sharing right now, like I said in my previous video, is subject to change. Nothing's really set in stone, so it could change at any given time. Try to get up to the Rift Guardian and show you guys some of the damage that you can do. Yeah. Get them crits. Well, they're technically not crits, but they are at the same time. It's really weird. But the dots themselves are actually really strong. They do quite a bit of damage. You can honestly dot usually and just run around and kills mostly everything for you. Especially with that new haunt going on. 20% bonus damage. Almost have the Rift Guardian. There we go. Okay, now we have the Rift Guardian. Whatever the Rift Guardian may be. What is it? Orlash, yeah. Him and his cloaking. Alright, so I can just show you, like, just with the dots. About 60 million, 54 million. But let me go ahead and pop a Jade on him. $1.6 billion it looks like. And my gear is not extraordinary either, like it's okay. But yeah, the 2 Jades. It's pretty good. It's pretty good amount of damage, and what's nice about the haunt, like I was saying guys, is that it's actually going to boost your party damage by quite a bit as well. 20% from all sources is going to be really useful. So for single solo play it'll be a little bit better, but in group play it's going to be amazing most likely. Anyways guys, as always, I appreciate you taking time to watch my videos. If you liked, please comment, subscribe, and if you have any other requests for classes you would like to see in the PTR currently and how it's developing, please leave it in the comments below, and I will try my best to get to that as soon as possible. As always guys, thank you for watching my videos, and have a great day.